How's it going, everybody? Thank you very much for clicking on yet another one of my videos. Before we get started with this vlog, just a couple reminders. I've been getting reports from people that think they are subscribed to my YouTube channel who have been finding themselves mysteriously unsubscribed from my channel through no fault of their own. So you might actually be one of these people. You might think you're subscribed to Van Life Plus and you're not. A quick double check would be greatly appreciated. And if you're new around here, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button as well. I would greatly appreciate that. On the subject of subscribing, another reminder that my little brother recently started his very own YouTube channel called Tales from Sanctuary, where he goes over stuff like homesteading, farm life, and sticking his camera in the face of some really cute animals. So if that sounds like something that might be interesting to you, head on over to his channel and click that subscribe button as well. The link to his channel can be found in the description of this video. Thank you very much and enjoy the vlog. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I hope you are all doing well. This is going to be a bit of a interesting start for me. I haven't filmed in quite a few days with this whole new approach to the way I'm releasing videos here on Chapter 5, but Penny, careful. She's hungry and rubbing on you. Ooh. Apologies, that's the first time I've heard myself speak out loud this morning. I'm definitely at the tail end of getting over this cold, which, can I just take a second here to say, at the ripe old age of 40, I'm definitely noticing that when I get the sniffles, they sort of hang on a lot longer than they used to. Very annoying. Anyway, I'm just waking up here, getting my day started. Went to the pool with the Pirate Princess yesterday. So had our trunks and towels hanging up overnight on our clothesline here, right above the diesel heater vent. So they are all nice and warm now. Just gonna have a bit of a slower start here to the day. I gotta do my Walmart walk, then come back, have some breakfast, and I'm gonna get out of this parking lot. And as you can see, winter has officially arrived here in Calgary. Finally, although I don't know if it's gonna stick around or not. Who knows if it'll melt and go away. Probably not, though. I was looking at the temperatures last night. Nothing seems to be going above 0 degrees Celsius for the next few days. So we're probably gonna have some icy conditions for a little while. You want your last meat puck? I don't mean last meat puck like that. Everybody just calm down. I mean your last meat puck that we currently have on hand. So we're going to have to be stopping at the good old pet food store later, aren't we? Yes, we are, little Miss Penelope. Here you go, darling. Splooge. All right, you enjoy that. I'm going to put on some pants, and I'll be right back. I didn't have enough clothesline for the amount of things I had to hang up. This towel was sitting on the poop bucket all night. This side, that was on the top of the bucket, nice and dry. This side on the ground, not so much. So I'm not going to pull that clothesline back out. We'll just hang this on the counter, hang the damp side over the edge, as you do. And then we're going to crank the diesel heater up to max while we go into Walmart. And this is what we're going to be focusing on today, mostly. We'll get to that in a minute. Diesel heaters, bane of a van lifer. I was gonna say a bane of a van lifer's existence, but I guess if you're down in like warmer climates, you probably don't even have use for a diesel heater. Up here in Canada land, I most certainly do. Turn my fan on to exhaust because running it high, even in these temperatures, it's only like, what? -1 outside, so it's not even that cold. It might not be that cold, but I don't know where my toque is. It's probably in the Jeep. So thank God for the bottle of whiskey I bought, and it coming with this free promo headband. I totally forgot these were even a thing. I used to have a lot when I was growing up as a kid. Headbands for the winter. Can I just... Now that's a look. Here I come, world. Watch me whip. Watch me nay-nay. Don't leave the poop bucket in front of the vent. See, you try to be all artsy fartsy and get nice shots for your vlog. Is the idea you have in your head. I'm gonna open up a can of fruit. I'm gonna pull it away, and the title card's gonna be there. And then because you're filming it, of course, you don't know how to open up a tin can, and you end up pinching and slicing your hand open. Slicing. I can't even speak properly. Just dumb. My goodness, so I spent the last couple minutes getting into the back there to get at my first aid kit so I could get a Band-Aid. Because yeah, as I took the lid off in that previous shot, somehow when I opened it, it sliced right into me. Son of a bitch. There's no rhyme or reason. Anyway, let me bandage myself up here before I start sticking giant slices of pear into my gob. And let's chat a little bit. Actually, I'm going to turn this off now. It's quite warm. I just got back from Walmart. This was running on high the entire time. So it's nice and warm in here. I've turned the fan off, so we'll give the diesel heater here a break, let it power itself down, and let's chat about it real quick. So anybody getting into van life or doing their fair share of research about van life, especially in colder climates, you're going to come across diesel heaters. And one thing that's fairly common to hear is the old analogy of you need to run them on high for at least 15 minutes before and after you turn them on and off, just to make sure you're burning off the buildup or whatever, right? The carbon, the diesel gunk that builds up inside the chamber. Running it on high apparently is a necessity to ensure that the engine stays clean. At least this is the assumption that I've sort of been led to believe over the course of my van life. What I can speak to is my experience. The thing that makes it very confusing is this. Let's take a look at my diesel monitor for a second. Actually on a very short leash here. Now it's powering down, but you see those colored lights at the bottom of the little diagram there? 2 green, 2 yellow, 2 red. So that to me indicates temperature inside the chamber. This is the first diesel heater I ever installed in my van way back in 2021 when I first moved into the van, and I've just been sort of learning to fix it and maintain it ever since. The confusion comes in is because somebody once told me that those lights indicate temperature. So as long as you have those 2 red bars at the very end, and it's all built up like that with the nice 2 red bars, your burn chamber is burning as hot as it ever will be, which doesn't automatically makes sense to me, because when I run this at, let's say, 10 degrees, everything slows down. Like once it senses the temperature is where you want it to be, it slows down. It never turns itself off. My system never auto shuts itself off unless there's a problem. But it will slow down. The fan will slow down, the fuel pump will slow down, and it'll just be gently blowing 10 degrees into the van, right? Then I can come over here and I can crank it all the way up to 35, and of course then it will kick on. The fan will run higher, the fuel pump will pump faster, and you will get hotter air coming out. But never on either side of that do those lights change, right? Those 2 red lights are always there, whether I'm on high or low. So I don't really know what it is. I was told once that you don't need to run it at 35 degrees as long as those 2 red lights are there. Now you can go into the advanced settings and you can change how fast your fan spins at low and high, and how fast your fuel pump pumps at low and high. And from what I have experienced, if you change those too much, you can end up in a world of hurt. But I also noticed the first time I had somebody adjust those, when I was running on low, those red lights would go away. It would go all the way down to either 1 red light or just the 2 yellow lights. To me, then that indicates, with the knowledge I've been provided, that it's not as hot inside. So in that scenario, it makes sense to me to crank it all the way up to 35 degrees. So then those red lights come back and it burns off. But the way that my settings are right now, this sucker's always burning nice and hot in there, even on low. So that whole running, every time you hear me say, oh, I'm gonna run my diesel heater on high, I usually always scoff or have a smirk, or I don't 100% believe it. I'm just trying to do it probably to convince myself that I'm preventing anything terrible from happening. But here we are. And let's chat about what happened the other night. First and foremost, though, I'm gonna start sticking some of these pears in my gob because I'm getting hungry, and my boo-boo is gonna need strength to heal itself. Some people's kids. And of course this happened at like the most inopportune time, because that's always when this sort of stuff is going to happen, especially in my experience. But it was Saturday night. I was getting back to the van. It was dark, it was cold. My heater hadn't been running during the day because it wasn't too cold. So I went and turned my diesel heater on. And what happens? It starts blowing white smoke. Now, there's a bunch of things this could potentially indicate, I suppose, but in my experience, it indicates buildup in the chamber, which signifies to me it's time to clean the diesel heater out. These are much smaller, which probably means unhealthier pears than the Dole brand. Moving right along. With my system, the way it seems to happen, when it starts to blow white smoke, it doesn't heat up, it doesn't ignite, and then it will stop the fuel pump after a few minutes of detecting that there's no ignition happening. And then the fan will keep blowing, the white smoke will stop because, again, you're not having any diesel introduced to the chamber. And then it automatically, without me having to do anything, it will try again a second time. Now, if it starts to blow white smoke and senses that it's failing a second time, then the whole system will ultimately shut itself down and you're quote-unquote hooped. What's happened so far is that second time on Saturday night, it fired right up, no problem. So I immediately ran it on high for like half an hour, and then I've kind of been doing that whole thing for the last couple days. Again, maybe it's helping, or maybe it's just simply out of paranoia on my part. I do not know. But, of course it happened then. My immediate thought is I need to clean it. It's showing me early warning signs that there's a problem inside. And way back when this first started happening, of course, I was panicking like most people would, not knowing what the hell is going on. But I've torn my diesel heater apart multiple times since I moved into my van. It's actually a very simple system that it's scary at the beginning, but once you take it out and take it apart and look and see how it works, it's so simplistic to clean and put back together. Anybody really could do it. So that's where I'm at, and that's what I wanted to do today, is I wanted to get down and tear this thing apart. Of course, I mean, I was staring down the barrel Saturday night. Sunday, I have my little girl all day, so I don't have time to be doing it then. Again, the temperatures was nice, so it didn't need it during the day. Got back to the van last night, fired it up. No problems when it first started up. No white smoke or nothing, right? And it's been running fine ever since. We just ran it on high. It ran on low all night. We just ran it on high, and now we've powered it down for now. But of course I wake up, and now finally, it's winter outside. Of course it is. And it's actively snowing. So there's a couple things working against me here. Like my plan was to get in here and tear it apart and get it cleaned up. But I'm remembering back to my experience. The good things to replace when you do this, you don't have to, but good practices are to replace the gaskets, because there's 2 gaskets, and to replace the atomizer screen. It's this little mesh screen. It's this big. It goes in this little hole, and that's where the glow plug glows, and it warms. It doesn't matter. It's all science. Who cares? But that thing, in my experience, is a pain in the ass to get out. I know people are going to say, use a screw it, and pull it out. And I just like to replace the suckers. So I don't have any of that on hand. You know where I do have that on hand? On the bow of my boat in BC. I meant to throw that bag into Grace's boot before I left, and I did not. So now we're gonna go to the good old Amazon, and we're gonna get ourselves something like that. Not that one specifically, because I don't need a new glow plug as far as I know. It's functioning fine, but what I do need to replace is that little this is what happens when you touch things. This is why we don't touch things, especially on live streams. But that little tiny thing right there above the big silver shaft, everybody just calm down. That's the atomizer screen, and then these are this kit in particular comes with 4 gaskets to replace. Now, I don't know if that's actually the right one. This is my other problem. I got to make sure that this is this says it's for a 2 to 8 kilowatt heater. That is nonsense, unless those gaskets are different sizes. They might be looking at them actually. I've got either a 5 or an 8 kilowatt diesel heater, and those tend to be a little bit larger than a 2 kilowatt. So that would mean that the gaskets themselves are different sizes, whether you have a 2 or a 5 or 8 kilowatt heater, right? I don't need a glow plug. I don't need that little silver shaft is what allows you to remove the glow plug. I've got a couple of those on hand. What I really just need is just like the atomizer screens, like those things there. I don't need that many. I'm not in the business of repairing these. So what I'm going to look for is a kit. There we go. Just like that, is if this is the right one. Right there. We're going to order us that. I'm assuming this big black shaft is also something that could be used to remove the glow plug, and you got your atomizer screen and your 2 gaskets. So we're going to order that up. Unfortunately, none of that stuff will arrive until at least tomorrow. Well, that one doesn't even arrive till Wednesday. So I'm going to find one that will arrive tomorrow, and then we'll crack on and try to do that then. And then also hopefully the snow will have stopped. It will still be cold. My balance here that I'm trying to find is that today is going to get to the warmest all week. At midday, it's going to be 0 degrees Celsius, which is this in Fahrenheit. But then proceeding throughout the week, the highest is like negative numbers, which if you're unfamiliar are below 0. So that's why I wanted to get it done today, but I don't have those parts, and I'd rather not put myself into a situation where I don't have my heater tonight. So we're gonna put in that Amazon order, and then we gotta get Lucky over to a lube shop, because I hate to admit it, she hasn't had her fluids changed since that's disgusting. What is that? Why did my pear look like it got a bloody seed in it? Oh, you nasty. She hasn't had her fluids changed since I went to Montana. Shush! More importantly, before we start that process going, let's come back here and say hello once more to the feline. Hello? Hey. Hey! Can we get her attention? She's over it. I already shared a very similar clip on Patreon, and she's wise to my act. There we are. Hello, how are you? Yeah, are you snug up there? Enjoying your view of the winter wonderland out there? Yeah? Should we go get Lucky an oil change? Probably sooner rather than later, huh? Gotta hold on to your butts. Those roads are looking pretty gnarly out there. Hello. Yeah. Little girl. And actually, that's another thing that's really nice about this diesel heater, and especially where I now have the vent. Putting this towel up here, it's dry. It's instantly dry. That's what's the beauty about these diesel heaters, is they're a dry heat, right? I'm sure most people know that and are aware of that fact, but it doesn't inject any sort of moisture into the tiny home, which is mucho bueno, especially up here in the land of Canada. But yeah, that towel already dry for the, 20, not even 15 minutes I was in Walmart. You could probably dry a whole load of laundry in front of this thing. Okay, I need to fill up my water bottle. Wait, where's the... All right. That's another thing I need to address. I guess we could try to take a look at that today, is my water bottle situation under the sink, right? We've been talking about for quite a few videos now how that water has been tasting funny. I haven't been using that water for a long time, so it's definitely at the point where we're just going to dump out what's in there and clean it out, probably just with some vinegar. I'm not going to use bleach. People keep telling me to put bleach in my water tank. I'm like, no. I can understand if you had like huge scummy buildup, or there was amoebas and shit floating around in there. Use bleach. I don't like the idea of putting bleach into my drinking water tank. Yeah, I know you could always rinse it out, but where the hell am I going to dump bleach safely living in a van? You take it into the washroom at Fish Creek Park and dump it in the toilet? I mean, I guess, but I also don't want to buy bleach as I have vinegar on hand. So dump that out. We'll get and give that a rinse. And then what we were kind of talking about on a previous live stream, and what a bunch of people have been suggesting in the comments, is perhaps that I should, oh God, it's a disaster in there right now, we're not going to look, but quarantine off my diesel tank a little bit more. Because probably what's happening is my water bottle is attached to an electric faucet, like a pump, right? And so on the bottle at the top, you have to have a little tiny valve open to allow airflow so the pump can function. If that valve is closed, eventually your pump will pump water, but once it runs out of airflow, it will stop pulling water, or it'll strain the pump. Science! And I think what's happening is when the diesel heater starts running, because it wasn't until I started using the diesel heater that I noticed this, but obviously when the fuel starts moving through the fuel line, it's allowing these fumes to build up inside here. I don't know if it's coming from the fuel tank or the heater right underneath. I don't think it's heating up the plastic of the bottle, because if that was the case, this cabinet would be getting very, very warm, and I never noticed that. It's a fume situation, and I'm imagining that those fumes are getting sucked into the water tank through that little open thing. So a combination of quarantining off the diesel fuel, or maybe even, you know what we should start with? Instead of making this more difficult than it needs to be, like going and getting a piece of wood and quarantining off. Somebody said also wrap it in a bag. Like, there's no way to wrap my diesel tank in a bag. But it's really hard for me to get on board with the fumes coming from the diesel bottle, like where the fuel is. Screw it, whatever, it is what it is. There's a whole bunch of crap in here. It's van life. This bottle here, right? I don't think that it's actually coming from this bottle. The heater is underneath everything. I imagine if anything, there's got to be something coming up from there. It's very hard for me to think that there's any fumes coming out of this thing. I've sealed it up very well. So one habit I could try to get into is the water bottle's back there. I can't really get in there at this moment because of, again, my shame, is I could try closing that valve off when I'm not pumping water. the habit I was in was just filling up my glass bottle every night and putting it in the fridge. So if I just have to add one more step of just opening up that valve, getting my water, maybe when the heater's not running, and then closing that valve up and seeing if it works. That's what I think we're gonna do. This is what happens when you're an overthinker and you start splaining everything. Okay, we should fire Lucky up because it's starting to get a little chilly in here. I guess I could also close this. It is winter after all. Okay, come up here. This keys. Where did I put them? In my pocket? Yes. Where is my pocket? That's the wrong keys. Too many keys. Where the? They're in the other pocket. Oh my God. All right. Good morning, Lucky. Not cold enough to have to use my my oil pan heater just yet, but we're definitely getting there. Another good reason to go get the oil changed. Okay, take off our window blockers. Let all this condensation start to get its poop in a group over here. Whoa! Woo! Gonna have to find a brush. That is some snow out there. Welcome back to Calgary. Wintertime. This is also a good opportunity to try out these new boots that Francis sent me. I just wore my regular ones here into Walmart, and they were fine. Again, it's not like it's super cold out or not, but we may as well start breaking these suckers in because they are a little on the tight side. And let's see here. Ooh. Yep. You still have the tag on. Come here, you. Stupid twine. All right. He's an 89 to have a Leatherman. Thank you. Pull it from the knot. Cheapers. Putting these on. I'm pretty sure my snow brush is buried somewhere in Grace, unfortunately. Hey, and there's my toque. Oh, I don't have to wear that silly headband. All right, let's go see what we can find. Gloves. Excellent. Stupid tin can cut in my hand. Because it wasn't the tin can's fault, was it? It was mine. Yeah, hasn't stopped snowing since last I was out here. Good morning, Grace. My goodness. You've looked better. I don't know where this brush is. It's no. Oh, I really hope it. Tell me I was a little smarter than that. It's not in the Space Cadet. Oh, this place is a disaster too. Oh, that reminds me, right. Might as well take care of our dirty laundry before we take off. Come here, dirty ginch and shirt. Whew. There we go. Ah, there it is. Buried back here. Oh, gosh. Come on. Yikes. Haha. Yes. I'm playing Santa for my mother. Those are all gifts for Lindsay's side of the family and whatnot that need to be delivered tonight. Our first dinner in a while, actually, over there. Also, I received this in the mail quite a while ago from Jeremy, and it is a USB mount cord thing to sort of tidy up the situation inside Lucky. Come here, you bastard. This whole little like mounting thing to maybe clean up. It's too hard to explain. It's to clean up this whole situation, right? So this black wire goes to the back of the new radio, which is working. I should say it's working okay. I was gonna say it's working fabulous, because that's my automatic go-to, right? But it's actually been working okay. On about 4 occasions now, I keep getting this message popping up on the radio that says, amp overload. And all the music stops, and you can't get the message to go away without turning the van completely off. So I don't know why that's happening. I don't know what's causing it. It's random when it happens, and it's funny, because there is no amp in this scenario. So anyway, But this is what allows me to connect my phone to it for Apple CarPlay and whatnot. And Jeremy, being the saint that he is, didn't like the look of this nasty business here. So he sent me this. So we'll have to take a look at that later. See if we can get it cleaned up and mounted to the dash. But again, that is a future Matthew problem. Present Matthew needs to deal with this nonsense. Good Lord. Before that, what the hell? How do I already have a rock in this boot? It had to have fallen in there from inside the van. What the hell's in here? Oh no, that's it's not a rock. That is a little tiny piece from a broken cufflink. I tell ya. Only in my van. Okay, you go in there. Let's clean off Lucky, shall we? Water bottle. Woo! That is some heavy and wet snow, which is, I guess, quite normal, but it just totally messed up my brush. I wanted winter. I got winter. Now we just need to deal with this situation. I don't have my vacuum like I normally have. I was somewhere lost to the ethos of my boat, I'm assuming, out in BC. One of my friends, Sheila, gave me this not too long ago. It doesn't quite do what you need it to do, but it's better than nothing. Just kind of pushes the moisture around, but it'll clear off the windshield enough that we can see what the heck we're doing. Huh. There, it's better than nothing. This thing is sopping wet now. Quality content. Quality content. I'm gonna have to clean that mirror off. I really don't want to get back out right this second. Let's just do it like this. There. Better than nothing. Woohoo! All right, we might as well see how well the cleaties hold up. We're gonna leave Grace here for now while we go get the oil change, because I can't imagine I'd be able to tow the whole rig through the Mr. Lube lineup. And then we'll come back and grab her before we move for the evening. I wanted to use Lucky to rip around in and pick Brooklyn up from school today and whatnot and go out to Lindsay's for dinner. But with this going on, I'm sure Lucky could do it, but it's supposed to snow all bloody day. And by the time I'm driving Brooklyn home, it's dark out. Then the roads will be yuck, and that's why we have a Jeep Wrangler. But for now, Grace, stay. Well, Lucky's pulling out of the parking lot, no problem. That's such an interesting little design on the side with the snow, where there's no snow in that like checkerboard pattern. I mean, heat's got to be radiating through like the ribs of the van then, I guess. I've never seen that before. I wonder if that has something to do with the new position of the diesel heater since I rebuilt the van. I don't know, I saw that when I was walking back from Walmart this morning and I was like, what the heck is, that's weird. But again, science, but I'm not a scientist. I'll see if I can get it to do this amp overload thing. Not that it's gonna make much of a difference, but plug her in, get her going, and see what happens. I left her in the back. I was saying, hey Siri, where are you? And she was like, I'm over here. There's real music, bye-bye. Oh, actually, that took no time at all. Interesting. I've probably driven, I don't know, a kilometer or two. I'm not even up the hill to where I need to be for the oil change place, but there you go. I was trying to listen to some Mercury Blues by Alan Jackson. Maybe the radio just said, I don't want to listen to Alan Jackson. No, that's not the case. I listen to him lots. Yeah, I don't know why this happens. There's no amp, but now we overloaded and now we can't listen to any music until I turn Lucky off. And remove all power from the radio head, so that's unfortunate. In other news, the Hakkapelitas on Lucky are tearing this shit up so far. No problem. Hakkapelitas plus studs. There's not a lot of ice though, so I don't know how much the studs are doing, but the tires, they sound really rough, but I don't have any problem getting traction, so great tires still a year on. Uh-oh. Looks like this bus may not have gotten himself some Hakkapelitas. You in a little bit of a pickle there, sir. Canada in the wintertime. Some D-bag in the comments will be like, why didn't you stop and help the poor bus driver? And that's probably a joke. But I would like to take this minute while I'm driving over to the lube shop to say thank you to everybody who's still watching my videos and keeping up with my shenanigans. I do greatly appreciate it. I took a big risk saying being transparent with everybody and saying that my plan is to quit van life and my new goal is to find a sticks and bricks for myself and my daughter going forward. That was a very nerve-wracking thing to do in terms of making a successful YouTube channel, and it wasn't an easy thing to do. And so, of course, it's brought a bunch of nonsensical idiots to the forefront with their, their vile and their hatred and their stupid negative comments, which was totally to be expected. But it still sucks to see when you're being as open and as honest as I have been. But that should not negate the fact that by and large, everybody else who is far more important than those people has been showing me overwhelming amounts of support, and I do greatly appreciate it. And I'm very thankful that y'all keep watching my day in the life videos of this schmuck currently rolling around in his cargo van home, soon to, well, I don't know about soon, but eventually to be back in sticks and bricks. So yes, thank you. Thought we'd take that moment to say that. Now it's awkward. Let's move along. Still sitting here at this light waiting for it to turn green. I'm actually just gonna order these, just the atomizer screens, because I figure either my gaskets should be still good enough. I haven't been using the heater that much since I rebuilt the van. So I'll either be able to reuse the ones that are currently on it, or maybe we'll just go get some silicone gasket maker and seal it up that way. I'd rather, because everything that comes with gaskets is 2 or 3 days out, whereas these atomizer screens should be in my mailbox tomorrow. Bye now. Thank you, Amazon. Away we go. Oh yes, Calgary got its first Chick-fil-A these last few weeks. It's been busier than I'll get out there since it opened. Looks okay now, but I'm not hungry. Not currently, but I guess I'll have to see what all the hype is about at some point and get over there and get myself a delicious chicken sandwich. I came over here to try it a few days ago, and it was so busy I decided just to go across the street to Jollibee. You can keep it. That place was no place to write home about. All right, let's see how busy this lube shop is. Oh yeah, look at this guy. He wasn't prepared. Check out this pickup truck. Yeah, he's got his tires in the box. He's filled with all the regrets. There is one bay here. I don't want to automatically pull up because sometimes they keep certain bays specifically for tires. And I have a feeling that would be these two here on the end. So we'll wait until the gentleman or child comes out and tells us which bay to pull up to. It still says caution amp overload. Let's get rid of it, shall we? It also doesn't lose power till I open and close my door. Sometimes not even then. Sometimes I have to open up the passenger door or the side door. It worked this time. All right, so we're back in business. It keeps playing in the background. The music just sort of, you just lose control over the system and no sound comes out the speakers, but the CarPlay is still working in the background. Very strange. But we'll listen to some Rise Against and see if we get an overload again.
Tires or oil change?
Just oil change, dude.
Okay. I'll get you behind. Give me 2 seconds. I want to see which one's the quickest.
Sure.
Actually,
Yeah, no rush, dude.
yeah, we'll see, because I want to make sure you get in first.
Thanks, buddy. Appreciate it. This van life hair today. He wants me to pull up to the first bay here. 10 to 15 minute wait, not the end of the world. Lucky is ready to have her naughty bits tickled. How you doing back there, Penny? Did everything fall over? Oh no. You just hiding amongst the mess? What else is new? Still waiting to get in. Shouldn't be long. I think they're wrapping up the car in front of me. Oh, it's getting a little warm in here though, so we're just gonna remove this. I was thinking about doing the oil change myself and going up to the other garage that you can rent a bay in here, the U-Wrench place. The last time I did that here on the vlog, I went to Lugnuts, which was fine enough, and that's where I did my front brakes and whatnot, and it was fine. But it's like double the price to rent the bay there. But I started thinking about it, even with it being that cheaper or less expensive up at U-Wrench, oil's still crazy. It's like, if it's not on sale, the oil I usually get is around $50 or $60 for a big jug, and I need a big jug and a small, like 1 liter jug of oil for Lucky's oil change. So that, I think that small bottle's like usually around almost 20 bucks, maybe 14 or $15. Then that coupled with the filter, which is usually $5, $6, $7, and the cost of the hoist up there, which is $35. It's way on the other side of the city. Lucky's oil change here at these like drive-through lube shops is just over $100. So I don't even think with all of that, I'd be saving much money. I think I'd actually be wasting it in gas going up there, and also the headache of having to do it myself. So in this case, we're going to stay in the tiny home and just let the professionals do it. Where the radio's still working fine, by the way. I'm looking at this this plug that Jeremy sent. I don't exactly know how I'm going to be able to make this work outside of maybe like, because it comes with its own little mount itself, but it's very large. I don't know where I would put this. It's too large for the hole where my wire is coming out. And like, it came with this thing, but that's way bigger than that, so I can't just pop that out and put that there. So I might have to trash this to begin, like all in all. That might have to go the way of the dodo, like that. And we might have to go to like Pick and Pull and get a new one of these from an old Chevy Express. I guess we could maybe attempt to do that today. And then drill a hole and put this in. Oh, that sounds like so much work. This is fine. I don't know, we'll put a pin in it for now. Actually, you know what? This thing came with like this little, it's a ring that you put on the back of the cable here, right? You fish it up the wire and then it'll screw onto the threads of this plug, and then this will pinch between here and the lip on the plug, and it will hold this in place. I think that's the intention for this thing if you were going to use it. But on this, like, it's jank AF and it's cracked, but if I was to get out one of my little hole saws and just make this space bigger, I could probably just pop that out, put this on the other side, we just tighten it down, and I think more or less it's going to cover up that hole. But as you can see, the hole's not quite big enough, so we just got to make it, we got to expand it a little bit. We also have to keep our shit in focus. Come on now. Maybe that's what we do. Save ourselves a trip to the junkyard. This line needs to start moving. I'm losing my mind. Just going down a rabbit hole of nonsense here. Story of my life. Oh wait, I also have this unused cigarette lighter space here, and it's a hole. It's circular, and it does nothing. I don't know if this. Can I get this off with my bare hands? Yep. Ooh. I don't know if that's big enough though. Stuff this in here for a second. Oh dang. Well, there we go. Uh-oh, door's opening. Car's still in the way though. None of our business. Okay, maybe this is what we do. This will be a little bit trickier to get behind this. Well, it's not impossible. I just gotta pull this panel off. The neat and tidy way to do this though would be to remove all of this again and go to the back of the radio and remove this wire and then just plug the new one straight into it, like this one. I don't think I'm going to be doing that because that sounds like a lot of extra work and steps. And this can just plug into this one, right? Let's just make sure it works. Plug that in there. Plug the phone into this one. Like, it's just like an extension cord for all this nonsense, right? Make sure there's no moisture in the cable. Yeah. It's charging, which means CarPlay is probably gonna, yep. Cool. Well, that's what we're gonna do, and then we'll just leave the big old hole in the way. All right, hanging out in the Mr. Lube lineup. Let's do some projects, shall we? Come here. I should be able to just sort of, yeah, it's right there. It's nothing. Okay. Give me this. Probably gonna have to get under here afterwards and zip tie this wire up a bit because there's gonna be a lot of excess hanging down. That's for darn sure. Let's see if we can do this. Hello? There we go. Grab it, spin. Jumbled up here. Ooh. There we go. Just gotta pinch the back and then turn this with our hand. We're almost there. Should I just leave it like that and really upset people? That's nice and tight in there. There. Ha-ha! Now, where's the rest of the wire? That's not the one we need. Bloody wires everywhere. Connect them like this. Haha. And then yeah, we're gonna have to like find a place to like maybe, well, I'm sure we can just stuff it up here for now actually. It's probably fine. And put this panel back. Look at that. Getting stuff done. Where's the phone cable? So it's gonna plug in like this. Hi. It's not working. I so hate when little stuff like this go. Oh, I just touched the dash and it started working. Well, that doesn't seem like a very secure connection. I feel like the wires back here are acting a fool. It's like you did nothing and it stopped working when it was working fine the way before. All right, well, it's working now. I don't know. It did. Stop touching things. There you go, Jeremy. Does that meet your requirements? Just like that, giant hole, much better. Thank you, sir. Ooh, we have potential liftoff here, boys. Let's do it. How's it going, man?
Hey, my name is Amir. I'm your service technician. That's Jude. He's also your service tech.
Cool. Oh yeah.
If you grab your mileage from me.
267,011.
1,000.
Yeah.
11. Can I grab your keys?
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, buddy. He's under there poking around under Lucky's hood. Little pillar of snow in the way. Yeah, get that long dipstick, you.
And you're just looking to get an oil change?
Yeah,
done?
just an oil change.
All right, cool.
Thanks,
Can I
brother.
grab your PSI?
Yeah, sure. That'd be great. Thanks, man. Oh, you want? Oh, yeah. It should be 60 in the front, 80 in the back.
I'll just double check for you. 60 in the front, 80 in the back.
Yeah. Typical cargo van tire pressures. 60 in the front, 80 in the back. But yeah, the last time when I did my oil change, I did it right before I went to Montana. And for those that weren't around then, I had the wrong filter on hand. So I changed the oil, had to put my old filter back on.
Is it you?
That's not me. I'm not Emily.
Okay, so
I'm not Emily Macleod. And it's not a grand. I think that who was. Oh, that's not even who was in here.
I don't know.
They're not me. Emily Macleod drives a Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Maybe your license. You are 9496, right?
9456. 56, not 96. That's me why. I am not Emily. Anyway, I had to put the old filter back on, and I eventually got the one that fit. Hey, that looks like me. That's better, much better. So she's had new oil, but then I drove to Montana and back, then the filter. Yes, please.
Oh, you pay for the visa or what? How did you pay?
How did I pay? On my card? Yeah, my credit card. Yeah. So yeah, anyway, went all the way to Montana with new oil, old filter. Eventually got a proper filter on there, but we didn't change the oil, did we, kitty cat? You gonna jump up? There you go. Can you get up there? Go ahead. Go see. You can do it. Get over the salsa. Yes, that's where we keep our salsa. You got it. Nice. When did I change it?
Have you been down the start your car around 5 minutes?
5 minutes? Yep.
Clean again.
Sounds good. I'm running the van right now. I was going to do this anyway if I was going to do my own oil change. I was thinking about it, doing an engine flush, throwing some clean flow in it. So what you got to do there is before you drain the oil, they put a solution in and you run the van for, I think you said 5 minutes. That'll help clean everything out, hopefully, and then we'll put the oil in. So it'll make it a little bit more expensive this time, but I was going to do it myself anyway. Why not do it while we're here? What are you saying? Don't waste money on an engine flush? Hey, listen, this is why you're a cat and I'm the driver. All right, Lucky's off. They are changing her oil now, and now we're hanging out in the back here. I was just checking everything underneath the sink that I'm gonna have to move out in order to get the water jug out. We'll get there in a minute. Wait, where are you going? You want some treats? No, don't go in your food. That's soaking with vinegar right now, you. How about some greenies to pass the time? You want some of these? Yeah, all right. With this. Giving my kitty cat treats in the back of our tiny home on wheels whilst getting an oil change. This sucker has to stay in his driver's seat. Ha ha. Hey. You scratching your scratcher with this. With this. You want this? A workout and a snack. There you go. Now we're back up here. So is she. You just following me everywhere I go today? Where are we going now? I think it's because I had to start the van to rev it a little bit. Where are my clips? Get the curtains, poop in a group. Grab the remote for the house lights. Oh, the lights.
So here's your sticker.
Thanks, buddy. Yeah, that's Penny.
Penny.
Yeah, we live in here full time right now.
Short for Penelope, or?
Exactly short for Penelope. No, well done,
I'm
yeah.
gonna tell my friend Penelope about your cat. Can I shout out Penny?
Yeah.
Shout out Penny.
Here, hang on, go ahead.
Yo, shout out Penny
From?
from Calgary, Alberta, and Chile. Habla español.
Right, awesome. Thanks, brother.
All right, have a good day.
Appreciate it. Yeah, you too, man. Thanks, guys. Thanks, brother.
All right, man.
Have a good one, guys. Stay warm. Thank you again. You as well. Those guys were fun. All right, and since we're up here, Miss Penelope, we may as well track down some new meat pucks for you. I have a feeling we're going to need to do a little bit of an about face here. Actually, we can go down that way and come in the backside. Who doesn't love that? Yikes. Right near those towering condos, Penny. Right at the base of them are your meat pucks. All right, now final test. Let's see how she does up a compacted snow hill. Just fine. Oh my God, same cannot be said for this guy. Oh, he is all sorts of stuck. Oh no. See, that's just unfortunate. He's gonna have to coast back down and go the other way. I mean, this was the first season I had my poop in a group, and I've had my tires on since like the end of October. But I cannot say that was the case for me all the time. I'm very happy it happened. Okay, and there, over yonder, are where they keep the meat pucks, Penny. Good old pet value. Yes, I had to put my jacket on between takes. It's winter. What are you, nuts? Ooh, hello. Hi. How are you? You looking for a home? You know, you're very cute. Who are you? Oh, you're a male. You're a boy. You'd be trouble. Yes, you would be. Hello, sir. Oh, I don't think Penny would be having none of it. Hello. Good boy. Don't give me any of that. We can't take him. Okay, meat puck selection. We forgot to take a bag, Penny. Why didn't you remind me? Huh. There's your meat pucks. Whoops, we dropped one. Where'd it go? Also, I'm now noticing, yikes, this is not as good as I thought it was going to be. It's further away from the tires, but it's still getting schmutz kicked up onto it, so we're gonna have to keep our eye on that. Good news is it's not going in this way. Move the meat pucks into the house. We'll find a spot for them later. Penny, I apologize, your meat pucks are literally getting everywhere. It is what it is. And one other thing we gotta do before we go get the Irish Pirate Queen and attach her to Lucky's bootay is deal with your litter. Kept putting that off for the last couple days. Not number two. Just come on, you get rid of those immediately. But the sawdust situation has sort of gotten out of control, so let's find a place to do that, shall we? Yeah, okay, good. The guy that was stuck on the hill, he's already solved his problem. He's gone. Unless we come down to the bottom of the hill here and he's just in a fiery, smoldering mess. That would be unfortunate. Looks like he was able to sort it out though. That's the absolute worst though, when you don't have proper tires and you get stuck on a hill. That happened to me. Must have been my first year in Lucky, going up the hill very close to the Hotel Walmart where I stay. I didn't have the Duratrax on. Those are my summer tires. And I started going up the hill and you just feel yourself lose traction, right? The wheels just start spinning and you know that you're going forward, but you're physically moving in reverse, and all your forward momentum is just delaying the inevitable. It's the worst feeling ever. I like coming to this car wash solely because my grandfather used to work here for a brief stint back in the day, as they say. Yeah, super strange, this pattern. It's got to be the heat radiating out right here. What else could it possibly be, right? Yeah, even that little drive just up the hill, look how much more schmutz got back on the muffler. Gosh darn it. Same thing every year. Let's get a pissy box full of wood pellets out here. Clean it the F out. Zoink, Scoob. Yeah. That's a lot of sawdust. Way more than we're used to. Thank you for your services. For now, let's go get Grace. Tally freaking ho. Coming right along. Totally forgot about the water jug. I should have emptied that out when we were at the car wash, but that's okay. We'll pull over near the Safeway there and empty that out and take a look at it. I'm interested to see if there's a slimy buildup on the inside. I was talking to one of my patrons who said that, algae could be a thing. Sure, it absolutely could be. I don't think in my situation it is. I use my water so frequently, I doubt that's what happened. I doubt that's what's happening, but we'll dump it out and take a peek, and then we'll fill it up with some fresh water, and I don't know, we won't be able to do any sort of controlled experiment until like tomorrow morning after the water jug has been in that cupboard with the diesel heater running. Good grief. This is just the day of finding unfortunate business all over the roads of Calgary. Yikes. Didn't look like anybody was hurt. Looked like they just lost control and went right into the snowbank. Not everybody's fit to live in Canada in the winter. Yeah. Winter is here. I was wondering when it would show up, but it's just a little tardy. Let's get this sink emptied out. Okay, now let's stick our hand into the hole. Right? No. I would say by and large, there is no slimy business happening. That feels like very clean plastic in there. So it should be the case, right? Like I said, I drink close to 2 liters of water every day. So the algae or anything or contamination like that, that should not be a thing that is happening in my water jug. So now we're just gonna have to fill this up at Safeway and then proceed with the experiments. Before that though, since we're over here now, I'm gonna do a little feng shuiing, because my God, before I get to that though, this is what I'm talking about, right? So this is the lid, screws on. There's good gaskets under this one and this one. And the hose connects to this right here, but this is the breather, right? So this thing is open slightly. I think I can open it all the way too and probably take it out would be my guess, right? Oh no, you can't even get it out all the way. But that's where I'm assuming any sort of fumes or yucky, nasty business in terms of air quality is getting in. So I just have to tighten this up and not have, you know, I don't know. This is driving me crazy, but I think everybody knows where I'm coming at. I'm gonna close that when I'm not pumping water, so nothing can get into the bottle. That's the theory. Oh, these boots are great. They're really nice when you're out traipsing around in the snow, for sure. My wool snocks. Gosh darn it. My wool socks would definitely be beneficial in this situation. But something to keep in mind, and this is kind of an important thing for me, is like these boots, as we saw at the beginning, are lace-up boots, and that's not very conducive for quickly getting them off when you get into the van. And for me, I've definitely become accustomed to kicking off my footwear as fast as possible. I don't like stuff that takes any longer than it absolutely needs to, so something to consider when you're in and out of your tiny home frequently. All right, new tank of water. Diesel heater has not been running all day yet. So what am I going to do? We're going to fill this up, and I figured we can figure this out without having to wait a whole day, because when I leave to go get Brooklyn tonight, I will leave the heater running, obviously, for Penny, and I'll be gone for a good 4 or 5 hours. So that will give this cupboard enough time to fill up with deadly fumes. And then when we get back, we will open it up. We'll make sure that the valve's closed before we leave, obviously. We're going to call it the breather. We call it the breather from now on. The breather we will close. We'll come back. We'll put this bottle in the fridge right now, and we'll do a quick taste test when we get back and see. Hopefully we'll be a-okay. All right, so that's done. Put that there. Close the breather. Nice and tight like a tiger. Because if that's all I have to do to alleviate this problem, like just that every time I want to fill up this bottle, that is totally worth it, because buying water this way as opposed to plastic bottles, I don't care what size they are, way more affordable. So anyway, let's get this put away in the fridge. There we go. This over there. Excellent. Oh, I hear you, Penny. What are you crying about? You're not dinner time yet. No way, Jose. Besides, you still have cookies. I don't care if you can see the bottom. There are still cookies in here. No. I'm also still running Lucky because she has been pulling a solid charge of almost 700 watts all day while we've been driving her around, which means my house batteries are quite empty. I'm gonna let it idle here until I have to leave, which is about 10 minutes to go get Brooklyn. If that doesn't stop, if that wattage draw doesn't go down, that means the batteries are quite low, and that means tomorrow we might have to go for a little bit of a longer rip in the good ship Lucky to keep those house batteries topped up, because I'm not gonna have shore power for a while. We will be back at Tunnel Mountain soon, won't we? Yes, we will. But until then, And the lack of sun, whatever will we do? We won't have any power. We'll be fine. But yeah, that's what we're doing for the storing of the power right now. Yes, and we switched over to the VTOMAN because it had been in Grace for a couple days, so I want it to warm up, and I still need to charge the blend jet. And the EcoFlow has been schlepped. What is it with it today, huh, Penny? The EcoFlow has been schlepped into Grace so we can charge it up tonight. Yeah? I don't care how pretty you are. You're not getting your dinner yet. No way, Jose. It is too early. She's like, but you went to that store and picked up meat pucks just for me. Oh, I know. Oh, I know. Okay, only thing left to do is to turn the heater on and see if she blows white smoke. I have another theory that's probably completely not part of it, but I'm going to rule it out just in case. Well, this won't be ruling it out actually, but I'm going to turn Lucky off. She's still been idling, still charging at almost 700 watts, but now that will stop. Hi, Penny. Because I'm pretty sure, this is just like I said, potentially ruling stuff out, but I'm pretty sure when she blew white smoke the other night, Lucky was running and charging the battery. I highly doubt that has anything to do with it, but you never know. Let's power her on. We'll do it on high for a few minutes. And we're going to knock it down so we don't end up with a fricasseed pussy whilst we are gone. All right, there we go. Fan's kicking on. Now we just got to wait. You get to know the sound quite well when it catches. So the way this whole system works is you turn it on, it boots up, the fan immediately starts, and then the glow plug is warming up. And then what happens is the fuel pump will kick on after a predetermined amount of time, and you'll start to hear that click, 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 click of the fuel pump. And the sound you get used to is this like deep, like rumble whoosh sound, and then you know that it's caught. If the fuel pump tick, 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 ticks for more than 10 seconds without that sound happening, at least in my situation, I know I have an issue. Fingers crossed. Yes, Penny won out and I filled her bowl so she could no longer see the bottom, and now she's here eating. What a drama queen. But I'm going to put the microphone here to see. Actually, I'm going to put it all the way over here and see if you can hear that whoosh audibly when it happens. I don't know what that's going to sound like. Air is being pulled in exactly where the microphone is towards the diesel heater. Let's just give it a second. There's the fuel pump. I think we're good. And you can see over here that those little bars are starting to build up. If you have an issue where it doesn't ignite, more often than not, that first little tiny blue bar won't even start. As you can see, we now have 2 blue bars, and I have never had that blue bar appear and then there be an issue. So we are good. It is kicking up to speed. Penny, you're going to be nice and warm tonight, and I will see you when we get back. So I guess tomorrow we will have to maybe try that out and rule it out by having Lucky running and firing up the diesel heater from a cold start or whatever, and just see if it blows white smoke. I don't see why that would actually do it. But higher voltage, I mean, maybe, but still, doesn't matter. The heater blew white smoke on me and it needs to be clean. This is what I have learned from my experience over the last 3 years with this diesel heater. Now I'm going to rip over to a car wash here and give Grace a quick rinse off before we get to Pirate Princess, because she's just a little yucky, considering she was being hauled around by her nose by her older sister. There we go. I'm not even going to use soap. We're just going to use water just to rinse off all the yuck and get the crazy amount of snow that's on the Space Cadet, or at least was on the Space Cadet. It's probably a little smaller now that the day's older, but get that off so it's not blowing in somebody's face. Oh, and also, we can take off our little magnetic covers so we can clean underneath there real good, seeing as I didn't do that when I was first installing them. I know it'd be smarter to just leave them on so the water doesn't get in the key locks, because it is very cold and the water will freeze, but I don't use those key locks, so we're good.
this bar and throw it off the edge. And all I'll ever be is writing next to me, spotting on my screen, sunburn down on me. And I hope that you watch this, I hope that you will. I hope you feel better about these cards you left. Look around and tell me what you see. Is it a brand new man or is it same old me? I keep marching forward with a small belief that if I'm still
Okay, and we are back in a good ship, lucky for the evening. Unfortunately, as easy as those old boots of mine might be to get off, they are not waterproof. This is the second set of socks now because I was able to grab a shower while I was out tonight. So now I'm gonna put on dry and warm sockies. I guess I don't have to if I'm not going anywhere. But yeah, we're gonna have to go back to the black boots whilst the slush is around because my toes are cold and wet. Anyway, I'm gonna wait till Penny has finished eating her dinner so we can then get into the cupboard there without disturbing her, because if I did it right now, we would be whacking her head with the door, and nobody wants that. So while we wait, we will get out the bottle we put in the fridge earlier. We'll transfer this to our Yeti and take a quick taste test. Now this is the water that is brand new and wasn't in that cupboard with the diesel heater going at all. Tastes delicious. All right, and Penny is moving. Well, she moved over to her water dish. Maybe we just made her thirsty with all the sounds of the water. Let me know when you're done, darling, so I can get in there and refill this bottle. Like, this has got to be what it is, right? Like, there's no way else. This has got to be it. Nothing else makes any sense. Yeah, sorry, I tracked in a little snow. My apologies. All right, so we're gonna open this up. Let me just get a whiff. I mean, I don't know, it doesn't smell like anything in particular, but okay. So now we're gonna move this out here as much as we can. Okay, this has been closed the entire time. Now I got my control here is I don't want to just open this up, close it, and then do it. I'm gonna leave the cupboard open because I imagine this area is probably a little filled with the ooh yucky narnars. So we will open this up. Well, you know what else I could do? Let that pressure out and then close it back up. Now we just let a bunch of air in. I wonder if this will run long enough with the pressure we just get. Not with that length of hose, it won't. Push that back in a bit. Yeah. All right, let's give it a shot. Nice. Okay, so it will fill, no problem, and it didn't get cut off or anything. All right, now the test. It's so hard to tell. I'm used to cold water. I will get a definitive answer by the next video because I'm going to refrigerate this tonight. But so far, it doesn't taste very yucky. So I think this might be it. Now, what if I release this, let it breathe, and then seal it back up again and leave it sealed until the next time I got to use it? I swear this has got to be the problem. It's the only open part of the bottle. The bottle is very well made. It's got no yuck in it. Hopefully we can put this to rest. But we'll find out in the next episode of Van Life Plus. Until then, thank you very much for watching. Just go out there, be happy, be creative, be yourselves. Most importantly, be positive. But remember, you can't make everybody happy because you're not tacos. You might actually, in fact, be a bottle of yuck water.